And now for the moment many people have been waiting for. Caitlyn Clark has dropped her signature logo for her product line. So this just happened a few minutes ago, and it was a long time in the waiting. Many fans were wondering where Nike has been with any Caitlyn Clark merchandise whatsoever, but developing a signature logo and a signature shoe does take time. So without further ado, here is Caitlyn Clark's official Nike signature logo. There is a statement that says, Caitlyn's signature logo pulls you in like her game. It features interlocking C's. Her mark is emblematic of ever-expanding range on the court. Celebrate her logo debut with this soft cotton logo tee. And you know what's interesting about this design? It does look like they are interlocked, but if you kind of like squint your eyes, it also kind of looks like a very dimensional one C in front of the other one. I don't know if that's just me. According to Nike, the shirt is available, but it's not available just yet, but you can be notified for when it does go on sale. I can only imagine it's going to get sold out lickety-split. Caitlyn Clark was first signed to Nike in April of 2024, so it took like what, about a year and a half or so to drop the signature logo, whereas with Sabrina Ionescu, she was signed in 2029, and around 2023 was when Nike dropped their logo for Sabrina Ionescu, which I also happen to think is pretty cool. Caitlyn Clark herself posted the teaser to Twitter with this truck that just kind of like drives by with these platforms on the back. Very, you know, Midwestern, akin to a very Caitlyn Clark-esque. And as usual, we're talking about Caitlyn Clark. I can't play the audio for you or else I will get stricken with a copyright. But a full line of signature apparel will be released on October 1st, and the shoe is set to release next year in 2026. Some people think it's very clean and sharp, and a lot of people are critiquing it, saying it kind of looks like a Gucci ripoff or like a Coco Chanel ripoff, and that it's lifeless and boring. When really it's hard to tell what a logo is going to be like until it gets placed on the shoe or the product. Like the Asia One logo here is kind of just a weird logo by itself. It seems very like asymmetric, but once you do see it on the Asia One shoes, it doesn't look that bad. I saw someone comment how right in the middle right there, it's like kind of like a snake eye, very like Mamba mentality. But regardless about how anybody feels about it, the second these things drop, they are going to fly off the shelves. But one thing is for certain, at least it's not the revised Cracker Barrel logo that actually made the company's stock dip significantly upon its recent release. Shares actually fell 7% in the one day that it was released. And I know this is like completely off topic, but it's just something that I found so utterly fascinating. And if you aren't aware, the old Cracker Barrel logo actually featured Uncle Herschel, which was a man that was just leaning up against a barrel with a tagline underneath that said Old Country Store. The company actually like came out and apologized, saying that they could do better. But anyway, back to the world of basketball and Caitlyn Clark. But you know, with as much adversity as the Fever have been facing, they have been losing a lot of games lately. I think that this is kind of just like a nice light at the end of the tunnel, or a nice like positive thing to look at amidst all of that. And as I already mentioned, the statement says that the two interwoven C's reflect Caitlyn's connection with the fans around the globe, and the smaller hidden C represents how Caitlyn's game was built from the inside out. And a quote from Caitlyn says, "To me, this is more than a logo, it's a dream come true." But a lot of people do like it. They are like reading heavily into the design. One person says the way it resembles a three-point line in the middle, clean lines, minimalistic, there's a touch of sophistication and a hint of elegance we see resembled in her own personal style. Not too flashy, it's not working too hard. And Ken Swift puts a funny post up where he says, Caitlyn shoots it from here, which is like just outside of what the three-point line would be. And considering that the topic du jour today, since there is not a Fever game, has been that elbow that Lexi took by Kayla McBride, which in my opinion definitely should have resulted in an ejection. And a lot of people are speaking up about how nobody stood up for Lexi, AB or Tasha or anybody. And I kind of understand not wanting to create a brawl. Like, that is not at all the intent that I think should have happened. In no way do I think fighting is the answer to anything. I do wonder though if maybe AB, maybe Tosh Howard should have kind of just been like, hey, what is going on? That wasn't cool. Went over to Lexi like right away instead of maybe just like standing there. Although AB's reaction, honestly, that is who she is. She was shocked. She was like shocked and frozen in place. Howard kind of like backed off a bit. But I don't have too much to say about that because not in my wildest dreams would I think that fighting about something like this is the answer. I do, however, think that speaking up and saying something might have been a good opportunity to do so in that moment. So the dropping of Caitlyn Clark's signature logo definitely has people talking about something else, putting a more positive spin on the Indiana Fever today. And there was some fun social media banter that came out of it as Sophie posted a quite revealing picture of her standing outside of a truck, and Caitlyn Clark commented, "Geez, Sophie, can't like this. Like, no, I'm not gonna like this. This is like way too much." And then Sophie responds, "Wanna buy a truck? I can get you a good deal." And then today, Sophie gets into Caitlyn Clark's comments when she released that her logo had dropped, saying, "Oh, you do have a truck." As in, guess you won't need that hookup after all. But today was a very exciting day. It was a very exciting day, I'm sure, for Caitlyn Clark. It was a very exciting day for her fans who have been like frothing at the mouth for any sort of signature product from their favorite basketball player. Because what Nike has dropped so far, like this Rookie of the Year shirt that was probably or looked like it was designed by some sort of intern. I mean, the placement of where that swoosh is on the back there kind of is telling. I remember when this dropped thinking that someone just like quickly went into like a Word document and put something for, okay, we have to do something for Caitlyn Clark getting Rookie of the Year. So we'll put out this like absolute abomination of a design of a shirt. And then this one where she is the A in Clark under a spotlight, which is okay. I guess it just kind of looks like maybe a bootleg kind of shirt. Can't believe it was, a Nike design in general. And then they did release a From Downtown to My Town, which says "The floor is yours" on the back, which is a tribute to that enormous poster, or I think it's called a billboard, that was on the JW Marriott in Indianapolis during All-Star Weekend. And now Caitlyn Clark's logo is cemented as an icon next to these other Nike signature logos, which I actually don't recognize who the one at the top right is. It does look familiar. I know the one at the top left is Kobe. Obviously, the one below that's Jordan. Then there's the Asia, Caitlyn, and Sabrina above her. But who is that one at the top right? It's like weird because I know that I know it, but I can't remember. But if you guys know it, get down in the comments and let me know who that signature logo actually is. Or wait, is it LeBron James?